Unseen Connections. In this veiled confession, we explore a story about Sarah and Alex, her stepson. For Sarah, life had settled into an efficient, albeit stagnant routine. At 38, she had her share of responsibilities, a fulfilling but often unexciting job as a marketing executive, a recently decorated cozy home in a quiet suburban neighborhood, and a life increasingly filled with the weight of family obligations. The past 5 years had brought major changes. She had married Rob, a charming man whose smile had captured her attention during their whirlwind courtship. The excitement of new love helped mask the complexities of their blended family, leading Sarah to a mixture of hope and anxiety. Rob's 18-year-old son, Alex, a striking young man with a burgeoning charm, had moved in with them after the wedding. At first, Alex had been cordial but distant, often retreating to his room or spending evenings out with friends rather than engaging in Sarah's attempts at family bonding. He had inherited his father's good looks but also held tightly to the emotional indifference that often plagues teenagers dealing with complex family structures. To Sarah, Alex was a riddle wrapped in a mystery, a young man full of potential but shrouded in angst. He had what Sarah found incredibly magnetic, an air of confidence that made her heart race. She dismissed the feelings that would sometimes bubble up, rationalizing them as simple appreciation for youth and vitality. However, the air in the house felt charged, electric, with the unsaid tension simmered just below the surface. It was a palpable distance, punctuated by acerbic remarks and frequent silences, particularly during family dinners when Alex would stare at his plate, the remnants of uneaten food reflecting the divide. Her attempts to connect with him were often met with eye rolls or dismissive grunts. Baking him cookies on lazy Sundays, attempting movie nights with family-friendly films, all were met with excuses and eventually abandoned hopes. The rejection stung, and each day she would retreat to her own pursuits, nursing the seed of loneliness that had taken root within her since Rob's focus had shifted toward his son and away from her. One fateful afternoon, Sarah sought solace from the demands of housework by scrolling through Instagram, a distraction that enveloped her in a colorful world beyond her own. The app was an endless stream of sunsets, brunches, and meticulously posed selfies, an enticing escape from her reality. As she flipped through the posts, an image caught her eye, a young man, a few years older than Alex, with tousled hair and a broad smile lounging on a sun-drenched beach. Cute, she murmured involuntarily, captivated by the youthful exuberance that radiated from him. He looked carefree, vibrant, everything that felt absent in her own life. Curiosity piqued, Sarah tapped on the profile name, at Sunny Days. Suddenly, she was engulfed by an array of photos that depicted a thrilling lifestyle, vacations, beach parties, and gatherings filled with laughter. Each moment in his visual diary seemed vibrant and alive, contrasting starkly with the golden hour dusk settling outside her window. Escapism took on a new meaning, and for the first time in years, Sarah felt a spark light within her, a coalescing mixture of excitement and yearning. Unbeknownst to her, the young man behind at Sunny Days, that vibrant digital persona, had someone far closer to home lurking in the shadows of her online life. Meanwhile, Alex had also stepped into a similarly intertwining world, enjoying the anonymity and audience that Instagram provided. It was a typical evening when Alex, too, succumbed to the allure of social media. Ecstatic over a day at the beach with friends, he took a series of selfies showcasing his youthful physique, confident, carefree. Thrilled by the attention, he posted a striking shirtless photo, capturing the sun-kissed skin and carefree exuberance that charged through summer days. He was thrilled to see a flurry of likes and comments flood in. The unmistakable thrill of social acceptance coursed through him, his bravado building with every ping of acknowledgement. He basked in the approval, unaware his internet persona would intrude upon the life he shared with his family. Days blended together, each growing more entwined with the digital threads connecting Sarah and Alex. Sarah found herself returning frequently to its Sunny Days, eagerly awaiting new posts while innocently engaging with the account holder in private messages. The thrill of it all was intoxicating. Their conversations had effortlessly transitioned from playful banter to flirtatious exchanges, as if she were reclaiming a part of herself lost amid the mundane responsibilities of adulthood. The digital flirtation felt harmless, an escape from reality. Sarah shared personal anecdotes, snippets of her daily life, vaguely alluding to the struggles of keeping a house together while managing the emotions of a teenage stepson. The connection reinvigorated her spirit and confidence. "Wow, you look beautiful," came the affirmation in response to a picture she shared, one that featured her smiling brightly at the camera, fully aware of how a compliment could make her feel alive once more. Across the house, Alex unearthed the growing popularity of his own online persona. The attention from girls flooded in. One day, scrolling through notifications, he stumbled upon a comment from @sunnydays on his latest post, and intrigue buzzed through him. For a fleeting moment, he felt an inexplicable connection to this mysterious person who appreciated his youth. It morphed into something curious, every playful likes pushing him towards a budding obsession. On the weekend, determined to rekindle their connection, Sarah organized a barbecue, hoping to integrate some warmth back into their home. She baked, prepped, and even created a vibrant atmosphere, a stark contrast to the emotionally charged distance. As guests mingled, laughter flowed freely, and Sarah felt lighter amid the happiness. But still, her mind was diverted, glancing at her phone because @sunnydays was not only a fun distraction, it was becoming her escape. That same hour, Alex connected with his friends in the other room, unaware the world they each created online was hurtling toward an unexpected convergence. It was during that barbecue, as Sarah moved about the kitchen, when a notification ding echoed through the air. The familiar thrill surged in her veins as she read the new message from @sunnydays. "Wish I could be there," it read, a nonchalant remark that ignited her fantasies, allowing her to imagine a scenario where they could share moments beyond the screen. Sarah found herself caught between excitement and dread when Alex burst through the interior door with youthful vigor. He grabbed a soda from the fridge, but he paused, glancing at Sarah's phone. "What are you texting about?" he asked casually, his curiosity colored with youthful innocence. "What? Oh, just some adult stuff," Sarah said, hiding her phone behind her as a smirk tugged at her lips. "Cool," he shrugged, but beneath the surface, they were both reeling without knowing the truth. Days passed into weeks, and their secret exchanges transformed from fun to intimate revelations, blurring lines they both dared not cross. Each message became charged with deeper confessions, sultans of both fantasy and desire. Sarah found herself scheduling moments throughout her day to sneak peeks at the account, sharing more intimate photos of her life, moments she'd long since forgotten she enjoyed. His flirty responses fed her fantasies, and she sent increasingly risque messages, a careful dance mediated through the screen, a world so vibrant it felt tangible. And then one evening, Alex, caught up in his own emotionally turbulent state, reached out to @sunnydays after a particularly long day. The two of them had exchanged moments of vulnerability, unknowingly stepping into a parallel universe filled with desire and longing. "What are you wearing right now?" he typed, emboldened by the connection that felt necessary, vital, and somehow safe. "Something comfortable," Sarah, as @sunnydays, replied teasingly, unaware that Alex was on the other side. "Just the usual, sundress, no bra, want to see?" In that moment, both of them felt the thrill of danger, the impending risk of betrayal softened by the intoxicating aura of anonymity. The connection surged from casual to intimate, a tidal wave waiting to crash. Each interaction refined its border into something physically intimate. Days went by with electric anticipation as both Sarah and Alex shared more than flirtation. Their needs collided, veiling their identities under the cloak of misdirection. It was during a night without dinner, a rather mundane evening, that the floodgates opened. As Sarah lounged on the couch, scrolling through Instagram, still lost in a delicious fantasy that swirled around her, she caught another notification, a picture Alex had uploaded from a recent night out with friends. It showcased him in a sharp suit, looking more like a man than a boy, and it struck her. He looked stunning. Framed within his smile was a blend of youthful energy and raw magnetism, igniting a completely different emotional turmoil within Sarah. His photo nudged her conscience, the illusion she crafted shattered against the jagged edges of accessing her feelings. She found herself tapping the heart icon and commenting, "Wow, looking handsome." Then another notification came. Alex confirmed her comment, but the undercurrent of tension tangled within remained unnoticed. "Thanks. Just trying to impress someone special," his comment gleamed with coy humor, unbeknownst to each other's true identities. Later that evening, Alex grew restless with the thrill, the growing emotional web. His hands swiped through the screen, navigating over contours of intimacy, lust, and helpless affection, captivated by the hidden prospects. He opened the chat with "It's sunny days. You're so captivating, you know that?" His heart raced as he hit send, intertwining the boundary of an emotional affair with an identity he wished to keep hidden. The reply was instant. "You have no idea how many times I've thought about you." It sent chills through Sarah. Her heart raced, teetering on the brink of excitement and remorse. But the sheer weight of their conversations became an irretrievable whirlwind, spiraling through realms of intimacy, blurring facades with unyielding urgency. Then it happened. An impromptu storm brewed on a late Sunday evening. Rob arrived home early from his business trip, not anticipating the turmoil that had devoured his family in his absence. He walked into a home of buried secrets as laughter echoed between the walls. Distracted by business matters, he didn't perceive the tension hanging in the air. Sarah greeted him excitedly, but a flicker of unease washed over her. Had she been caught in the ensuing tide? "Hey, love," she greeted, attempting to mask the slight tremor in her voice. "Didn't expect you to be home so soon," she added cautiously, fighting the urge to check her phone one more time. "What's this?" Rob said, his brow furrowing as he spotted Alex retreating to his room. "Everything all right? Just a little barbecue earlier," Sarah replied hurriedly. Anxiety clawed at her throat as Rob's eyes followed their son. That night, both Rob and Alex sensed a shift in their dynamic, a disquieting tension that had arisen from the layers of secrets they harbored. Without directly confronting one another, they felt it, like a tightrope stretched thin above uncertainties, both fearing that the fall would leave them irrevocably broken. When Alex retreated to his room, he instinctively reached for his phone, wrapped in the bubble of deception he'd helped create. With the insatiable feeling of longing, he opened the messages with "It's sunny days," swept up in intoxication that blurred reason. "Hey, just had some family drama," he typed, his fingers trembling. "How about you?" Sarah, on the other end, sensed the tension. She felt their secret shared in the light of private admissions. She crafted a message with gentleness. "Family can be tough, but I'm here if you need someone to talk to." Moments turned into hours as their secrecy coiled tighter. Alex and Sarah exchanged messages mapping their vulnerabilities. It became the night where regret gently knocked on their doors, and the reality of what they were about to lose loomed heavily. Both lay in their respective beds, surrounded by the shadows of their choices. Each feeling the chasm of separation grow, unable to decipher the situation that spiraled amid their flirtation. As days turned into weeks, the unshakable tension built to a crescendo. The world around them felt suffocated, compressing every breath they took. Until one evening, Sarah, in a desperate moment, sent one last intimate photo, pushing their correspondence into uncharted territories of engagement. But before sending it, a sudden pang of conscience struck her, creeping down to her core. She felt the weight of what she had built drain her heart with each second. What was she doing? Who was she becoming? As her finger hovered over the send button, she saw another notification flash. Alex had liked her most recent post. It sent pangs of realization slashing through her mind. "No," she muttered hoarsely, staring at the screen, her heart pounding like a drum. Just then, Alex's reply flashed through. "You're incredible, Sarah." With the turmoil surfacing within her, she hastily sent the photo, uncertainty hanging in the air, a pivoting moment that shifted the course of their lives. Hours later, Alex excitedly opened his phone to find the photo from "It's sunny days." His heart soared. The intimacy provided filled the void left by his complicated family life. The excitement swelled within. However, as he scrolled through their chat history, a flicker of doubt struck. Had he ever asked this mysterious girl who she was? Guilt mustered within him, mixed with the anticipation of what she offered. The thrill of their conversations battled against the uncertainty of reality. In this moment of introspection, he added a note to his message. "Can you just tell me a bit more about you?" Silence thickened between them as Sarah's heart raced in her chest, a paralysis settling as Alex's words hung heavy. She was mirrored in the flicker of a screen that held her hidden contradictions, a mother seeking validation from her stepson and a son yearning for a connection birthed from obscured identities. Within moments, a thought began to swell. Both realized their shared fervor came crashing against backgrounds that tangled deeper than initial anticipation. The notion that they had woven an emotional bond masked through the guise of anonymity became overwhelmingly clear. "Alex, you don't understand," Sarah began, but before she could convey her thoughts, the whims of fate struck. An unexpected twist of events jarred their world. Unexpectedly, the family dog burst into Alex's room, knocking over a pile of books, his tail wagging excitedly. Startled, Alex's eyes darted to his mother's photo. Familiarity ignited confusion as Alex reconnected the dots. The realization crashed over him like ice water. He knew that smiling face, the warmth of her kindness, the laughter echoing in the distance. The construct of its sunny days shattered, revealing not just a stranger, but his mother. "Mom," he uttered, disbelief etching paths across his face. As reality crystallized, Sarah gulped, horrified. A wave of guilt and betrayal coursed through both of them, tearing asunder the thin veil of anonymity they had cloaked themselves in. A moment of disruption spiraled into despair, lifelines frayed at the seams, powerless against the gravity of familial ties. "Why?" she shouted, tears brimming in her eyes as the weight of their actions crashed around them. I didn't mean," Alex faltered, grappling with the crux of discovery that twisted innocence into betrayal. That becomes the genesis for their shared conflict, an inability to confront the truth about choices made in isolation. In the days that followed, life twisted into an uproar of tension and bitterness. Sarah and Alex retreated into their own shells, no longer able to navigate their shared space with any semblance of comfort. The family they had known became a war zone, delineating lines of anger and hurt, simmering under the surface. Meanwhile, Rob sensed the shift in the air. Dinners turned silent, laughter evaporated, and Alex spent less time in the communal spaces of their home. Rob was baffled. What had changed overnight? It nagged at him, weaving anxious thoughts as he wondered how to confront the heart of the issue that pulsed between them. One fateful day, Rob confronted Alex. "What's going on?" he asked, his voice laced with a blend of concern and frustration. "You're not yourself lately. Did I do something wrong?" The question hung in the air, too heavy for Alex to hold. A part of him yearned to cry out how he felt betrayed, manipulated by secrets that had, unbeknownst to him, blossomed into something intense and painful. But instead, he fell silent, unwilling to unleash the swirling torrent of emotions within. The family sought therapy, believing time could mend their fractured bond, when in reality, they struggled with feelings that remained buried beneath layers of shame. Day by day, Sarah battled herself, muddling through feelings of guilt and betrayal while fighting for clarity and redemption among the tents of whirling thoughts. Yet, the twist remained untouched and layered, a slow reveal of true intentions forged before the veil had even been lifted. Months later, through painful sessions and moments of confrontation, they gradually rebuilt trust, learning to navigate their complex relationships anew. But a single twist echoed along the route. Rob's earlier efforts to reconnect with friends and former acquaintances had reaped an accusatory cornerstone when an elementary school friend called, talking about a familiar name from the past. "Did you hear?" his friend said, a hint of skepticism wrapping around his words. "You know Jessica, the girl from college? She's back in town. Word has it she's been trying to rekindle old flames." As Rob hung up, his thoughts spiraled, shrouded in doubt and betrayal. Confronting old flames became a story that wove through the tumultuous web of their familial ties enforced by past indiscretions, unearthing knowledge buried beneath every interaction. And so, while Sarah and Alex struggled to untangle their identities, redefining their roles as mother and son, the true twist lay in the realization that relationships, once broken, formed new connections filled with threaded intricacies. The truth about family remained entwined in love, secrets, and ultimately, the strength to heal, not only themselves but the bonds they forged through revelations they misunderstood. This twist, as they would come to learn, meant navigating life and acceptance together, crafting renewed understanding around their shared battles, fraught with lessons from the edges of betrayal that forever bound them in their history. They would discover in time that love, however conflicted, could mend the rifts they thought were insurmountable.